Meet Professor Hakeem Adeniyi Ajombade, an expert in entrepreneurship education, in an interview with Inegbedion Juliet O, PhD, the Director for Entrepreneurship and General Studies in National Open University of Nigeria. The interview was held in October 2019. Now the interview begins. Hello, I am Juliet Inegbedion, the Director for the Directorate for Entrepreneurship and General Studies, National Open University of Nigeria. In the Directorate, we are set to help grow the young innovators, and in doing this, we have mentors. Here with me today is one of the mentors, Professor Hakeem Adeniyi Ajombade. Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to have you here in National Open University of Nigeria. And we are happy to have you as a volunteer to mentor our students as we can from the wealth of your experience in entrepreneurship. Thank you very much. Now we have heard much about you, especially your work in Kwasu. We want to share your experience as a startup in the Entrepreneurship Center in Kwasu. How did you start and what were the challenges you faced in starting off?
There were a lot of challenges in starting the Entrepreneurship Center in Kwasu. The pioneer director is Professor Maurice Alawood, who I took over from. But from the script I read and from what I saw, his biggest advantage is the support of the Vice Chancellor. The PC have a buy-in and understand the fact that entrepreneurship is the way to go. So our Vice Chancellor came from the United States and is currently the Vice Chancellor of the University of Abuja. Just started this year. So that was the biggest support. But the main challenge is the buy-in of the sector. Because a number of people, for example, in engineering, in art, were thinking, why should entrepreneurship be made a compulsory subject for all students? What has this got to do with students who are studying law? What has this got to do with students who are doing mechanical engineering, for instance, or Arabic studies? So that was a huge party. The second thing is the fact that at the time of starting of the university, then the NUC had not seen the need for entrepreneurship as such. So Kwasu kick-started it, and over time the NUC now made it mandatory. So by the time NUC made it mandatory, it eased things a little bit. Even though NUC said we should all do 4 units of entrepreneurship courses, in Kwasu we do 8, which also tends to help our students to see the needs because it makes you'll be more grounded.
Thank you very much for this great experience you've shared shortly. And again, you just finished giving us a keynote address on the first international conference for the Faculty of Management Sciences in now. And during that, your paper presentation, you did mention that there is a lot of misconception when it comes to entrepreneurship. Please, can you speak on this?
I mean, one of the major challenges that I have seen with respect to the issue of entrepreneurship in Nigeria is trying to, separate the dichotomy of, skill acquisition, vocational training, and entrepreneurship. So until we get that right, that somebody who has gone to acquire a skill, or somebody who is involved in soap making, or somebody who is even a fashion designer, is not necessarily an entrepreneur, because there are quite a lot of them who have these skills, but they are yet to transform it into serious money making. Again, I think this also has to do partly with our policymakers, who also don't seem to have adequate knowledge of it. Entrepreneurship is hands-on. It is not textbook. And when you now say that, okay, entrepreneurship is made compulsory, the teachers to teach this course, who are they and how grounded are they? You can't teach entrepreneurship the way you teach commerce or economics. So until we get that aspect right, we might be, elongating our short journey.
Thank you very much. And again, from what you've just mentioned now, like now here we in the Directorate of Entrepreneurship, we try to come up to say, okay, in the last part of your entrepreneurship, you're going to have 60% practical, 40% theory. And we're really supported by the Vice Chancellor, by the management. We have a huge support. But to some others, they didn't really see why we should give 60% to practicals, 40% to just the theory, the exam aspect. What have you to say, going by your experience?
I think you are in the right direction, in my opinion. I mean, if we can even increase it beyond 60%, fantastic. Like I said, it's a hands-on thing. But the very basic of the fundamentals of entrepreneurship needs to be inculcated. And I listened to you earlier, and part of it you have actually, you have actually well spotted. You have actually mentioned that, for example, you cannot be an entrepreneur without having an enterprise. You can't. Because even with all the Bank of Industries of this world, all the Tony Lumelu, all the Obama Foundation that we have, if you don't have something to show that you have something on ground, so you need to register a business. Business registration is mandatory. You don't necessarily have to do a limited liability. It can be a venture, which is now very easy to do online. You can easily register online. That is important. While you're registering the business, they want to know what the business is going to be all about. So a business plan is required. And I'm not talking of a voluminous 60-page business plan. It can be as simple as short as 15 pages that we give a snapshot of what you want to do, what your source of finance, what are your market, what is your target market, what is the competitive analysis, so that at least until you also start committing it into paper, there are some thoughts that you are on as an entrepreneur or a would-be entrepreneur, you are also downplaying. So a business plan is required. Then how then do we can even encourage our students to do what we call shared resources. It is not compulsory that everybody must stand alone. For instance, so 4 of us could be in one building and we use just one generator instead of having 4 generators. And what we are doing may not be related, but we can share a resource. So at the end of the day, it kickstarts you. Again, the university can help by having a sort of incubation center where the student could start, for example, like we did in Kwasu. We have an incubation center for all our students who graduate. We have about, office for about 15 to 20 people that if you want to still remain around Ilorin, for example, you don't need to rent an office. Use our office address as your business address. Also, you have a desk there. You have a computer to use. So we've saved you the money of where to get Wi-Fi to send your email, where people can meet you. So you don't have to pay rent. All that helps them to kickstart. And they tend to see that they don't need as much money as they actually think, but be driven with your passion and your creativity.
Thank you very much. You heard our mentor, and it's telling us that what we are doing is really in line, because right there, remember, you are being driven to present your enterprise idea. And in presenting your enterprise idea, you have a lot of things to do. We'll come back shortly after this break.
The Learning Content Management System is a directorate in the National University of Nigeria that is saddled with the responsibility of creating rich and multimedia content that is suitable for online distance learners across the country. We are continuously improving our mode of delivery to ensure that instructional content becomes more flexible, learner-centered, and connected to real-life situations. Welcome to the Directorate of Learning Content Management System in the National University of Nigeria.
Thank you for this great mentorship. Now, I want you to help us enlighten our students the great things they need to look out for as a entrepreneur, because I discovered that with working in our students, some of them are being intimidated, some feel inferior of the idea they have. I want you to speak a word that will help enlighten them, because we tell them, look around your environment and look out for a problem to solve, and that is where your thinking, your creativity, your idea will come up from. What have you to say on this?
The students have got to remain focused. When you are knocking on a door and it's not open, 2 things are likely to happen. Your continuous knock is likely to bring the door down, or those who are inside the property will be so disturbed with your continuous knock, so they will have no choice than to open. So never give up. The can-do attitude must be in you. They must always look at, and then they should try to read the autobiography of successful entrepreneurs. It tends to motivate you to see that being poor or coming from a poor background can never be a reason for failure. Again, the university will continue to give the support by bringing successful entrepreneurs, and I mean known ones that have not made it too big, but started from nothing. Bring them. This is one of the things we used to do. We bring people they can easily relate with within the society. Come and tell their stories. People like it when they listen to story. Let them come and tell their story. Maybe we organize something like Entrepreneurship Week. They come. Another thing we do, which I also think can help our students, is also to bring the regulators of businesses. For example, we do bring NAFDAC, we bring CAC, we bring them, we set aside a day for all of that. So they come and tell them how business registration is done. We bring insurance experts to tell them the need to insure your business no matter how small. We bring all the microfinance banks to tell them. So all of that. So the student begin to see that, oh, so this thing is not as difficult. So if I need $1 million to start, it doesn't mean I need 1 million today. With 200,000 in the business, I can start, because you're not going to need all the 1 million at a go. It's going to be in phases. So such continuous encouragement and allowing them to have a kind of a group, a platform that they share to also share their story, it helps a great deal, and they can really, really break the ice.
Thank you very much, Prof. Again, just one thing I want you to say. What would they learn from you as a great entrepreneur?
Perseverance. Perseverance. Never give up.
Share a little experience of yourself.
Well, I started, for example, trying to find out first where lies my strength, and I realized that I love to impact knowledge. I know that I can teach. So I started by doing home teaching, lesson. What people call lesson, home teaching. A gentleman came looking for a job in my organization, and he has a first degree in management education. And I said, why are you looking for a job? Just go to GRA, have one-page paper that introduces you, and tell them you can do this. You don't know how much home teachers make. The guy you have teaching your kids maths and sciences, another one you have teaching them English. We know how much we pay them. We pay them as much as 30,000, 40,000, I mean, per month. And if you look at that, you now teach the same thing in different homes in a week. At the end of the month, you are earning more than even the person who hired you. So people need to understand where lies my passion. So I started like that as an undergraduate, and that was where I started making my money. And when I wanted to start a coaching center, I was initially looking for where will I get money for desk, where will I get money for chair. Then an idea occurred to me. Let me go to the primary school close to my house, talk to the headmaster that can I use this place, because I only need to use it between 4 and 7 in the evening. I don't need it during the day. And you are gone. The place is locked. The man agreed. He said, but you have to talk to the local government. I went there. They said all I needed to pay was 12,000, 1,000 per month. Really? And that was it. So I was able to put on my first form, government approved. Like that. So I didn't pay for electricity, I didn't pay for the desk, I didn't pay for anything like that. All I paid for was a cleaner to make sure once we finish. That's the kind of creative ideas. Rather than another colleague of mine who think you need a building, you need to. So this is the kind of thing. So such stories tends to help people to look at things differently. That, oh, so this is possible. And I think for me, the never give up attitude. Just keep knocking.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. I appreciate it.
It was nice having you.
Thank you so much, Ma. I appreciate
now, and happily, volunteering to mentor our students. Anything you do, you can become a great entrepreneur. Start small and you will be great. Thank you.